I cleared the shelves and emptied out the drawers by the bed, trying to silence all the echoes of the things we never said. I gave away your sweaters and I threw out every note, but I can't remove the heavy stone that's lodged inside my throat. The house is clean and quiet, not a trace of you is seen, but there's a ghost inhabiting the spaces in between. I thought that letting go would mean I'd finally be free, but the void you left is bigger than the world inside of me. Now all I have left is the hurt, the only thing that's real, a jagged little reminder of the way I used to feel. The love is gone, the laughter's dead, the fire's turned to dirt, and I'm clinging to the wreckage, 'cause all I have left is the hurt. It's the only part of us that didn't walk out through the door, so I hold it like a treasure, though it breaks me even more. People say that healing is a road that I should find, but I'm terrified of leaving all the memories behind. If the pain starts to vanish, then you're truly really gone, and I'm not ready for a world where I have to carry on. So I nurse the bitter feelings and I seek a savvy ache. It's the final fragile promise that I'm not allowed to break. I'm a guardian for the shadows, I'm a keeper of the flame, and a temple built of sorrow and a whisper of your name. It's the cruel kind of comfort, it's a dark kind of grace, to see your ghost in every tear that falls across my face. Without the sting, I'm hollow. Without the breath, I'm thin. So I open that the wounds and that the winners settle in. The only thing that's real, a jagged little reminder of the way I used to feel. The love is gone, the laughter's dead, the fire's turned to dirt, and I'm clinging to the wreckage, 'cause all I have left is the hurt. It's the only part of us that didn't walk out through the door, so I hold it like a treasure, though it breaks me even more. Don't take the pain away, don't let the colors fade. Just me and the stain, the only living thing. All I have left is the hurt.
Would you like me to suggest a rhythm style, or perhaps some vocal cues for when to sing, with a more broken tone, to emphasize to 2027?
The tide is coming in through the cracks beneath the door. I'm mapping out the watermarks across the bedroom Every picture on the mantle is a wave that's breaking her. I'm struggling to breathe beneath the clear and sunny sky. I thought I found a shoreline, I thought I reached the sand, but I'm clutching at the bubbles of a disappearing hand. The salt is in the carpet and the rust is in the lock. I'm listening to the ticking of a waterlogged clock, and I'm drowning in yesterday's tears, sinking through the weight of the wasted hollow years. The surface is a mirror of the face I used to know, but I'm pulled down to the bottom where the heavy secrets grow. I'm reaching for the daylight, but the blues turning black. Yeah, the literal ocean trying to hold me back. Your ghost is like a current, it's a slow and steady go. I'm touring out my spirit just to keep the vessel full. I see the life we'd promised drifting by like scattered wood. I swim back to the harbor if I only thought I could, but the eagle is a memory of the night you said goodbye, and the pressure in my chest is more than just a lonely sigh. I'm a sailor with no compass, I'm a wreck upon a reef, finding out that forever was just a beautiful feat. You can't build a bridge on a river made of grief, where the water is the master and the time is just a thief. I'm gasping for a moment where I don't taste the brine, trying to find a border where your life ends and trying to hold me back. Going under, the water's getting deep. Going under, the promises you keep. Just a ripple and a blur in a place where we were. I'm walking through the rooms of a house that isn't mine, tracing circles in the dust just to kill a little time. floorboards have a memory of the way you used to move. Now they only groan beneath the weight of things I can't disprove. I talk to the ceiling, I talk to the core, repeating every story that we never got to fold. I'm a stranger in the hallway, a glitch inside the light, just a piece of something broken left to wander through the night. And I'm just echoes of a lost soul, ringing in the dark, a hollow kind of thunder without a single spark. I'm the sound of a heartbeat that forgot its own name, a flicker in the shadows of a long extinguished flame. I reach for the handle, but my hand goes through the wood. I come back to the living if I only knew I could. The radio is static, but I hear you in the noise, the ghost of all our laughter and the wreckage of your voice. I'm a footnote in a chapter that you've already read, living in the silence of the things we never said. I went down to the river to wash away the gray, but I'm just a reflection that the water swept away. The more I try to hold on, the thinner I become, until I'm just the rhythm of a muffled distant drum. There's no map for the lonely, no compass for the ghost, searching for the version of the girl I missed the most. But the mirror shows a window, and the window shows a void, just the beautiful degree of a love that was destroyed. Yeah, I'm just echoes of a lost soul, ringing in the dark, a hollow kind of thunder without a single spark. I'm the sound of a heartbeat that forgot its own name, a flicker in the shadows of a long extinguished flame. I reach for the handle, but my hand goes through the wood. I come back to the living if I only knew I could. Can you hear me? Do you feel me? Just a sound in the ground fading out.
Would you like to experiment with a slow 6/8 time signature? Or a sparse PM or a sparse Violi Sirens?
The photographs are silver, losing focus on the wall. I'm listening for your footsteps in the silence of the hall. But the colors in the kitchen are turning into white, and the edges of my memory are fraying in the light. I try to scream your name, but the air is thin and cold. I'm losing every story that we never got to tell. dissolving in the shadow of the life I shared with you, but failing quite outline where a fire used to be. There's a ghost in the mirror where I used to see me, slowly turning translucent, drifting out to sea. A memory of a memory. I went to touch the velvet of the coat you used to wear. My fingers passed right through it like I wasn't even there. The world is getting louder while I'm turning down the sound. I'm a footprint in a desert that can no longer be found. I'm a little left in water, the ink is running clear. It's a terrifying how I simply disappeared. Don't look too close, you might see right through to the hollowed out center that I emptied for you. I gave you my substance, I gave you my spark. Now I'm just a steady beat pulsing in the dark. Drifting out to sea, fading into nothing. Just a memory of a memory. Can you see me? I'm losing my color. Can you hear me? Getting my smarter. Watch me blur, watch me dim until the sky is tucked in. I took the window, but you took the color when you drifted away. I'm a house with no windows, a room was air, just a hollow reflection of a girl who was there. And I'm a falling heart and an empty soul, a broken machine that's lost all control. I'm a bird in a cage with the door swinging wide, but I've forgotten the feeling of the world outside. I'm a desert of silence where the water once ran, picking up the pieces of a shattered plan. The fire's gone out and the ashes are cold, and this falling heart and this empty soul. I tried to write a letter, but the ink wouldn't flow, just like the words that I wanted you to know. I see a toothbrush sitting on the edge of the sink, and it pushes me closer to the edge of the brink. The world keeps on spinning, it's the side of the mattress now. I try to keep the fire lit, but I forgot it how. The tea kettle is screaming, but I'm staring at the wall, waiting the hall, and I'm left alone in the cold, reaching for a hand. It turned into a shadow in a way I didn't plan. The frost is on the window, the ice is in my soul, and I'm just half a person who was never really whole. The world is turning white while my heart is turning blue. There's no one left to warm me since I lost the hit of you. Yeah, I'm shivering in silence, left alone in this cold. I went to buy a jacket, but the zip is always cash. Like two hearts that are broken and no longer find a match. I see the couples walking, steam rising from their breath, while I'm huddled in a corner in a slow and quiet death. The January sun is just a pale and distant light, diffused up on the afternoon, the hurry toward the night. I'm a pilot in a blizzard with no runway left to see, just the ghost of your affection drifting further out from me. You could've left a sweater, you could've left a spark, instead of just this vacuum and this hunger in the dark. And mercury is darker and the wind begins to moan. It is 10 times colder when you're freezing all alone. So cold, so cold. Would you like me to suggest a minimalist piano arrangement, or perhaps a vocal dynamic, to help you produce this for your 2020-26 release? The ivy is climbing the brick on the wall. Since you left, I've forgotten a way to stand tall. I'm a cat with no string, I'm a bird with no sky. Just a question that's left with a hollow goodbye. I used to believe I was carved out of stone, but I'm crumbling down now that I'm on my own. The foundation is cracked and the roof's giving in. I don't know where me is supposed to begin. And I've fallen without you, I'm down on the floor, searching for light through crack in the door. The gravity's heavy, the world is too wide, and there's nowhere for a broken spirit to hide. I'm a heap of the pieces we used to call home, find the sun. I'm just the damage of what you've undone. I walk through the park and I see all the trees that don't seem to notice. I'm down on my knees. The 2026 when it's body and cold, and I'm missing the hand that I'm destined to hold. I try to get up, but the air is like lead, replaying the things that you never quite said. I'm a ghost in a city that's moving too fast, while I'm pinned to the ground by a ghost of the past. They said at the bottom is where you find strength, but I measured the dark and I felt every length. There's no ladder to climb, there's no hand from above when you're buried alive by the weight of a love. Still down, lower than the ground. Can you see me from here? Over majesty live, falling. The wallpaper's peeling in the hall where we danced, just a skeleton crew of a hollow romance. I'm walking on floorboards that don't make a sound. Since you took the gravity straight to the ground, I reached for the light, but I'm missed by a mile. Now I'm lost in the ghost of your permanent smile, and I'm falling through the empty, the sky with no floor, reaching for handles on a ghost of a door. There's no wind to catch me, no net in the dark, just the cold, quiet ashes of a terminal spark. Weightless and broken, I'm drifting away in the space between forever and just yesterday. I went to the kitchen to pour us some wine and remembered the others isn't yours and it's mine. The clock on the mantle is giving up hope. It's a long way to drive at the end of the road. Every wound is a canyon, every hallway cliff, and I'm frozen in time, and I'm baby in it. There's no bottom to hinge, there's this infinite blue of a world that's continuing without any you. I'm a pirate with no strength, I'm a stone in the deep, falling through promises you couldn't keep. Just yesterday, nowhere in my lungs, no ground from the feet, just a taste of the bitter in a world that was sweet. Falling through the empty.
Would you like me to provide a tempo, recommendation, or melodic structure, or the chord?
I'm sitting in the kitchen while the 2026 winter arrives, watching the frost sharpen edges like butcher knives. I try to name the feeling, I try to find the sound, but the syllables just shatter before they hit the ground. There's a dictionary sorrow sitting on the shelf, but none of the pages can explain me to myself. It's a heavy kind of silence, a thick and dusty air, the shape of your ghost sitting in your favorite chair. And it's a grief beyond words, a pain beyond speech, a shore that the rescue boats never can reach. I'm opening my mouth, but the language is gone, just a hollow vibration that carries me on. It's deeper than lonely, it's colder than blue, it's the sound of the world being empty to you. No lyric can hold it, no melody cures the weight of a heart that was once only yours. The ink in my pen has turned into ice. I've written I miss you once, maybe twice, but those three little words are too small for the whole. It's widening daily inside of my soul. It's in the way the floorboards decide not to creak, in the way that the shadows grow tired and weak. I'm a library of memories with the lights turned out, a story of us I'm no longer allowed to shout. If I could scream a color, it would be a jagged gray. If I could sing a feeling, it would simply fade away, because the tongue is too clumsy and the throat is too tight to describe how the sun feels like one in the beyond the words, beyond the breath, just the quiet after the death. Would you like me to suggest a minimalist piano arrangement or a specific vocal dynamic to convey this speechless emotion in your 2026 production? The calendar is frozen on a Tuesday in July, while the 2026 sick winter crawls across the sky. I'm sitting in the silence of a house that's far too loud, tracing every outline of a dark and heavy cloud. The coffee's cold and bitter, like the taste of your name, and the walls are bare and empty in their wooden picture frames. I'm walking through the wreckage of the plans we used to make, feeling every promise finally start to break. And now I'm drifting in the debris, in the wake of our end, searching for a version of a heart I cannot mend. The ripples keep on moving, but the light has gone away, and I'm drowning in the middle of a 2026 gray. There's no shore left to run to, there's no lighthouse in the dark, just the cold and quiet ashes of a terminal spark. Everything is hollow, everything's alive, left here in the shadows in the wake of our goodbye. I saw your coat still hanging on a hook behind the door, and I fell into the patterns of a life I have no more. I reached out for the phone to tell you something I had seen, and remembered that the distance is a canyon in between. The world keeps on turning, it's heartless and it's fast, while I make it to a ghost in a tomb made of the past. I'm a sailor with no compass, I'm a bird without a wing, just a broken rusted tethered to one sacred thing. I say the water's healing, you say the tide will turn, but all I do is sit here and watch the bridges burn. The salt is in a carpet and the rust is in the light. I'm counting down the minutes on a wire locked up. And I'm drifting another breeze in the wake of our end, searching for a version of a heart I cannot mend. The ripples keep on moving, but the light has gone away, and I'm drowning in the middle of a 2026 parade. There's no shore left to run to, there's no lighthouse in the dark, just the cold and quiet ashes of a terminal spark. Everything is hollow, everything's alive, left here in the shadows in the wake of our goodbye. Still sinking, still breaking. The waves are getting smaller, but the ocean is so wide, nothing left but silence and the turning of the tide in the wake of the end. Would you like me to suggest a vocal style? Perhaps an intimate, breathy delivery for the verses, or a chord? Or Poke, you composed the music for this 2026 original song. The tea has gone cold in the cup that you bought. I'm tangled in webs of the battles we fought. I haven't quite learned how to breathe in a room that smells like your perfume is certain doom. I'm watching the dust motes dance in the light, wondering where you are sleeping tonight. The keys on the counter are heavy as lead, since you left it forever for never instead. And I'm drifting alone in the wake of our goodbye, beneath the 2026 winter gray sky. The ripples are wide and the water is deep, in the space of the promises we couldn't keep. Everything's moving but I'm standing still, watching my heart roll away down the hill, just a ghost on the shoreline. It's here in the eye, lost in the wreckage, in the wake of our goodbye. I saw your reflection in a shop window pane, but it was just a stranger caught in the rain. My phone is a desert, no signal or sound, just the weight of the silence that's pinning me down. I'm folding your shirts just to feel you were here, with the text of the fabric as thin as a fib. The calendar pages are starting to curl on the day that you stop being my entire world. They say that the current will carry me on to a place where the memory of our sins are gone, but I'm fighting the tide, I'm holding my breath in this quiet, slow-moving version of death. turn of the tide. Goodbye. Would you like me to suggest a chord progression? Or a tempo to give this a slow, cinematic ballad feel? The thermostat is humming, but the room is freezing thin. I'm shivering from a winter that is settling under my skin. I watched your taillights vanish in the 2026 X-rain, leaving me with a mortgage on a house built out of pain. The sheets are stiff and level on your side of the mattress now. I try to keep the fire lit, but I've forgotten how. The tea kettle is screaming, but I'm staring at the wall, waiting for a footstep that'll never walk the hall. And I'm left alone in the cold, reaching for a hand. I turned into a shadow in a way I didn't plan. The frost is on the window, the ice is in my soul, and I'm just half a person who was never really whole. The world is turning white while my heart is turning blue. There's no one left to warm me since I lost the heat of you. Yeah, I'm shivering in silence, left alone in the cold. I went to buy a jacket, but the zippers always catch. Two hearts that are broken and no longer find a match. I see the couples walking, steam rising from their breath, while I'm huddled in a corner in this slow and quiet death. The January sun has touched a pale and distant light. It gives up on the afternoon, a hurried toward the night. I'm a pilot in a blazer with no runway left to see. It's the ghost of your affection drifting further out from me. You could have left a sweater, you could have left a spark, instead of just this vacuum and this hunger in the dark. The mercury is dropping and the wind begins to moan, and it's 10 times colder when you're freezing all alone. There's no one left to want me since I lost the heat of you. Yeah, I'm shivering in silence, left alone in the cool. I can see my breath,
but I can't see you.
the ice is getting thicker.
I'm everything we knew.
Just a frozen heart in a frozen room. It's so cold, so cold. Would you like me to suggest a minimalist piano arrangement, or perhaps a vocal dynamic to help you produce this for your 2020-26 release? I finally took your picture off the dusty bedside stand and watched the phantom pressure of your fingers from mine. For 1,000 nights I left the porch light burning like a star, thinking maybe it would guide you from wherever it is you are. But the bulb burned out this morning, and I let the darkness stay. I realized I've been living just to wish my life away. Now there's no more waiting for you at the window or the gate. I've stopped trying to negotiate with a cold and silent fate. The door is locked, your key is gone, the table's set for one. I'm stepping out of the shadow of the damage you have done. It's a lonely kind of freedom, but it's honest and it's true. There's no more wasted moonlight, no more waiting for you. I used to jump at every car that turned onto the street and listen for a heartbeat and a rhythm on my feet. But the mailbox is just empty metal, rusted in the rain, and I'm tired of being the keeper of this monument of pain. I'm moving all the furniture to places they never been, cleaning up the corners where I let go what is in. Hope is a heavy burden when it's tied to someone gone. It's an anchor in the river that won't let you reach the dawn. So I'm cutting through the cable, I'm letting go the line, I'm taking back the pieces of the time that's only mine. stepping out of the shadow of the damage you have done. It's a lonely kind of freedom, but it's honest and it's true. There's no more wasting moonlight, no more waiting for you. The light is off, the room is still. I've climbed the peak of this bitter hill. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing up, without a doubt. No more waiting. Would you like me to help you brainstorm a 2022 six-style cover art concept for this song? Or perhaps a tempo that fits this transition from sadness to self-reliance. The 2026 winter has frozen the tracks, and I'm carrying a weight that is breaking my back. I went to the station, but the trains don't run to the place in the sun where we used to be one. The maps have all changed and the landmarks are gone. I'm a ghost in a city that's already moved on. I reach for the bridge, but it's falling into the stream. Now I'm just the debris of a beautiful dream, and there's no way back to you. No matter how I run, the road has turned to water, and the day is finally done. I'm shouting at the shoreline from 1,000 miles away, watching all our colors turn to 2020, 26 gray. The compass is broken, the stars have gone black. There's a wall made of silence, and there's no way back. I dodge a number just to hit a machine, but a stranger's voice answered cold and serene. I walk past your garden, it's overgrown now with weeds where the roses were making a blow. Even the air feels different on the side of the line. A bit of reminders, but you're no longer mine. Every path that I take leads me further apart from the home that I built in the palm of your heart. If I could build a ladder from the salt of my tears, I climb past the wreckage of these hollowed out years. But the sky's too heavy and the ground is too far. I'm just a lost signal from a dying star. There's a wall made of silence, and there's no way back. No bridge to cross, no light to follow to the dawn. Just a space between where I am and where you are. No way back, no way back, no way back at all. Would you like me to suggest a piano-driven melody or tempo to help you capture that stuck and hopeless feeling of this 2026 scrag? The porch light is flickering out on the drive, counting the hours I've been buried alive. I reach for your hand in the space we've slipped. I found only shadows in the secrets we kept. The coffee's cold and the calendar's stuck on the day that you left, and I ran out of the luck. Now there are tears on my pillow, like salt in a wound. The ghost in the hallway, a hard attitude. I'm tracing the outlines of where you once lay, while the blue of the morning turns ashes to gray. Every drop is a story of a love let go, falling in silence, nowhere to flow. I haven't moved the shoes that you left by the door. I'm scared if I do, you won't live here no more. The silence is screaming, it's louder than words. The saddest old song that I've ever heard. I'm drowning in cotton, I'm soaked to the bone in a king-size desert. I'm dying alone. They say that the water will wash away pain, but I'm just a window caught in the rain. The fabric is heavy, the cotton is torn between the love that I lost and the grief that was born. There are tears on my pillow, they salt in a wound. A ghost in the hallway, a hard attitude. I'm tracing the outline of where you once lay, while the blue of the morning turns ashes to gray. And good drive is a story of a love let go, falling in silence, nowhere to flow. So I close my eyes and wait for the stain to dry. Just another night of saying goodbye. Tears on my pillow, tears on my pillow.
Would you like me to suggest a chord progression or a specific musical genre to help you compose the melody?
sitting in a hollow when you drifted away. I'm a set of color when you drifted away. But you took the color when you drifted away. I'm a house with no windows, a room knows air. Just a hollow reflections of a girl who was there. And I'm a falling heart and an empty soul, a broken machine that's lost all control. I'm a bird in a cage with the door swinging wide, but I've forgotten the feeling of the world outside. I'm a desert of silence where the water once ran, picking up the pieces of a shattered plan. The fire's gone out and the ashes are cold in this falling heart and this empty soul. Tried to write a letter, but the ink wouldn't flow, just like the words that I wanted you to know. I see a toothbrush sitting on the edge of the sink, and it pushes me closer to the edge of the brink. The world keeps on spinning, it's not from the roof. The rain in 2026 is tapping on the glass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. I'd used every towel and I've dried every floor, but the water keeps coming from under the door. It's not from the sky and it's not from the roof. It's the salt in my spirit, the ultimate proof that the love that you gave was a well running dry, leaving me with a storm in the back of my eye. And I'm drowning in tears that don't end, in a cycle of sorrow I can't comprehend. They fall in the coffee, they fall in the dark, extinguishing every last flickering spark. There's no dry land left where a heart can be free, just a vast bitter ocean inside of me, a river of why and a fountain of a when, in a world of tears that don't end. I went to the doctor to see if he knew how to stop all the salt that is leaking for you. He looked at the scans and he shook his gray head. I said, some things are living, they ought to be dead. The pillow is heavy, the sheets are all soaked, don't always and never that you and I spoke. I'm a ship with your sailor rig on a reef, being pulled to the bottom by the weight of my grief. If I could turn in stone or a pillar of salt, I'd stop this momentum, I'd bring it to halt. But the more that I cry, the more I become just a blurred-out reflection, hollow and numb. standing in the kitchen where the morning used to bloom. Now there's just a layer of dust across an empty room. I found a strand of golden hair caught in the floorboard seam, a physical reminder of a dead and buried dream. The clock upon the mantle hasn't ticked since you walked out, leaving me with nothing but the shadows and the doubt. I'm whispering your name just to hear the walls reply, but the pain is peeling back like a slow and steady sigh. And I'm living in the echoes of what we were, a blurred out photograph, a memory of her. The sound of your laughter is a ghost in the hall, a haunted vibration against every wall. I'm chasing a melody that's lost its refrain, drowning in the rhythm of the 2026 rain. It's a beautiful ruin, a hollowed out spur, just the lonely echoes of what we were. I went down to the shoreline where we wrote our names in salt. Now I'm searching through the wreckage, trying to find a single fault. But the mind is a deceiver, it only shows the gold. It hides away the bitter parts in the way the love grew cold. Every song on the radio has a lyric meant for you. Every street in the sea is a shade of lonely blue. I'm a radio receiver tuned to a frequency that's dead, but playing every single word that you ever said. If I scream into the canyon, will you hear me on the coast? Or am I just a shadow dancing with a restless ghost? The silence is an empty, it's heavy and it's loud, like the weight of a mountain or the shadow of a cloud. Yeah, I'm living in the echoes of what we were, a blurred out photograph, a memory of her. The sound of your laughter is a post in the hall, a haunted vibration against every wall. I'm chasing a melody that's lost its refrain, drowning in the rhythm of the 2026 rain. It's a beautiful ruin, a hollowed out spur, just the lonely echoes of what we were. Just a sound in the dark. What we were. You're in a distance I hear you in the wind, I hear you in the floor, but I don't see you walking through that door. Echo, just echo. Would you like me to suggest a vocal arrangement or a specific BPM to give this a slow? I'm sitting, took the color when you drifted away. I'm a house with no windows, a room or air, just a hollow reflection. A girl who was there And I'm a falling heart and an empty soul, a broken machine that's lost all control. I'm a bird in a cage with the door swinging wide, but I've forgotten the feeling of the world outside. I'm a desert of silence where the water once ran, picking up the pieces of a shattered plan. The fire's gone out and the ashes are cold in this falling heart and this empty soul. I tried to write a letter, but the ink wouldn't flow, just like the words that I wanted you to know. I see your toothbrush sitting on the edge of the sink, and it pushes me closer to the edge of the brink. The world keeps on spinning if you're two years gold, but by the middle of the chapter, the ink is turning cold. Now I'm scribbling in the margins of a story with no end, trying to find the logic in a heart I cannot mend. And I'm writing in the Heartbreak diaries, chapter 29, tracing all the jagged edges of a life that isn't mine. Every page is heavy, every sentence is a tear, recording all the ways I've learned to live without you here. It's a library of used to be's and never goners too. Just 1,000 different ways of saying I'm still losing you. I wrote about the kitchen and the way the morning felt, before the winter settled in and caused the ice to melt. Then I wrote about the silence I was startled in the spring, when you're waking up to realize it wasn't just a dream. I'm running out of paper, I'm running out of pen, but the grief is like a loop that just begins and starts again. I saw a smudge of coffee where you touched the page and ate, and I haven't had the courage yet to throw the book away. The to-do list is empty, the wish list is a ghost. I'm documenting everything that I missed the most. The pen is just a needle and the paper is a warning. The melody I'm humming is a song that's out of just 1,000 different ways of saying I'm still losing you. January's over, February's blue. There's a million empty pages waiting for a truth, but for now I'll just write. The ink is still wet on the letter I wrote, but I'm choking on words that get stuck in my throat. You said if the world ever tore us apart, you carry my name like a beat in your heart. Now the porch swing is still and the garden is dead, and I'm haunting the side of your half of the bed. I kept every vow even when it got cold, but I'm gripping a hand that I no longer hold. And it's the last promise broken, the one we held high, the always and never that turned to goodbye. You swore you'd stay steady, you while the rest of us sleep. I see your reflection in sharp window glass, but the crowd never noticed the shadows that pass. You promised we'd grow until we were gray, but you traded our later for just for today. Now I'm standing alone at the edge of the dark, holding a match with no wood for the spark. The silence is heady, the truth is a stone. You left me with memories to carry along. You could have broken my spirit, you could have broken my pride, but you broke the one thing I kept deep inside. A promise is sacred, a promise is gold. Now it's just a story that'll never be told. All the rest of us sleep. You said I'll be there, but the chair's just bare. You said never let go, but you're gone like the snow. The last one, the deepest one. The mirror is a puzzle with a piece that's gone astray. I'm looking at a stranger in the 2026 gray. I try to pull the edges of my spirit back in line, but I'm tangled in the threads of a life that was once mine. The tea is getting bitter and the fire's burning low. I'm stuck inside the state while you're living in the gold. I've got your old blue sweater draped across the wooden chair, but I'm clutching at the ghost of a ghost who isn't there. And I'm torn and never whole, a fabric ripped in two, with half of my reflection walking out the door with you. I can stitch up all the seams, I can try to hide the scar, but I'm scattered like the dust of a distant dying star. It's a jagged kind of living, it's a hollow kind of soul, when you're left behind in pieces, torn and never whole. I went to buy the groceries, I bought enough for two, and I stood there in the aisle, wondering what to do. The silence in the kitchen is a heavy rainy sound, like a hammer on a nail that is never going down. Every us is now a night, every we is now a me, and I'm drowning in the middle of a vast and lonely sea. I'm a book with half the chapters ripped out by the spine, trying to find a rhythm in a world that isn't mine. You came in the shadow, you can't heal the space, you can't find the sunlight, disappearing fade. I'm a map with no more borders, I'm a bed without a ring, just a broken rusted tether of a once sacred thing. Yeah, I'm torn and never whole, a fabric ripped in two, with half of my reflection walking out the door with you. I can stitch up all the seams, I can try to hide the scars, but I'm scattered like the dust of a distant dying star. It's a jagged kind of living, it's a hollow kind of soul, when you're left behind in pieces, torn and never whole. Afraid at the ends, never gonna make, break at the core, nothing that before. One half here, one half gone. Trying to hold on, but I'm torn. Would you like me to suggest a vocal arrangement, such as using a double-tracked vocal to symbolize the split soul, or a specific BPL for this 2020 Rex ballad? I'm sitting in that hallway where the floorboards meet the wall, watching 2026 shadows grow 3 stories tall. I found a ticket stub from a movie we both hated. Now it's a sacred relic of a love that's outdated. I try to move my feet, but they're buried in the past, stuck in the momentum of a dream that couldn't last. The scent of your old jacket is a blade against my skin, reminding me of everywhere that you have ever been. And I'm being torn apart by the memories pulled at every scene, drowning in the middle of a broken-hearted dream. Every remembering is a stitch that's coming loose. The ghost of your affection is a slow and steady noose. I'm a map that's being shredded, I'm a letter in the rain, getting torn apart by memories that only lead to pain. I walked them to the cafe where we used to hide away, but the colors look like static in the middle of the day. couple laughing at the table in the back, and felt the familiar sound of another heartstring crack. It's not just that you're going, it's that you're everywhere I go. And the rhythm of the traffic and the falling of the snow. I'm a book of missing pages, I'm a house with no more doors, trying to find a piece of me that wasn't always yours. They say that time's a healer, but I think it's just a thief, stealing all the oxygen and leaving only grief. I'm a puzzle with 1,000 pieces scattered on the floor, and I can't find a part of me that loved you anymore. Yeah, I'm being torn apart by the memories, pulling every scene, drowning in the middle of a broken-hearted dream. Every remembering is a stitch that's coming loose. The ghost of your affection is a slow, unsteady nose. I'm a map that's being shredded. I'm a letter in the rain, being torn apart by memories that only lead to pain. But at the edges, afraid at the center, just a scrap of paper, maybe 26 when wondering where I even begin. Would you like me to suggest a musical genre to match the shredded feeling